So yesterday I left off at where did I leave off actually? So we started the first bit of the investigation last time, and that's all we did. And now we're basically going straight into a trial. I like turn-based combat. Might do my own research. So from what I've because Bravely Default, so it uses like a standard turn-based combat RPG system, which also makes use of obviously the default system and the brave system. The default system allows you to forego your turn in order to defend, but that means you gain 1 brave point, and then the brave system allows you to expend brave points to do more actions per turn. So it is basically a standard turn-based system where you have to sort of just pick and choose when to defend or to default or to brave, which is to do more actions in that turn. I remember the first game, the original Bravely Default, being not very difficult, but some boss battles can be a bit of a pain because you really do need to know when to default and when to brave, and the enemies can do it too. It's like the boost system in Octopath. I heard the boost system was way better, I think, but essentially the concept is the same. Yeah, it's the boost system and not from Octopath. So to quickly go over the case for those who have missed it, this time we are not dealing with a murder for the first time ever. We are dealing with a theft, grand larceny, as it were, which was committed by this guy called Mask de Mask, aka Phantom Thief, who the police believe is this guy, Ron Delight, who apparently, according to his wife, Desiree, that he is just a very big Mask de Mask fan. But that's not what the police think. And especially this guy, who is an ace detective, who is definitely very shady and is trying to pin the blame on him. I don't trust him at all. The second I saw his design, I didn't trust him. What else we got? Oh yeah, Adrian Andrews is back. Remember her from the last case of the last game of the previous game? She's back. She's just head of promotion and security and planning. And Larry Butts is working as security somewhere or something. I don't know. And that's basically what it is. What we've got going on right now. Evidence-wise, we have this. It's just it's a image of the pot that Ami Faye's soul was meant to be residing in. If we remember from the second case of the second game, Pearl broke this, so that's why it said I am. It says I am because she can't spell and failed to put the pieces back together properly. Then there's a golden statue that was in the basement of the museum, as well as this. This is the item that was stolen. Actually, this is what we're sort of crying about. The sacred urn was stolen from the basement of the museum. Oh yeah, whenever Damask steals something, he sends it before the heist. It's a calling card. Then we've got camera data, which is what does that do again? The camera data basically shows us who went through the warehouse door at what time. So even though we haven't got visual footage of who did so, there's like camera data saying so. Then we've got the Shichishito, which is a 7-branch sword. It was bent because it was knocked. The mask apparently knocked at me on the head with it, knocking him unconscious, which is why he wasn't able to see anything. And then we've got, relating to that camera data, this is the security camera photo of Damask taking a box. I don't know if he's leaving or if he's entering. Hard to say. And there's a blackmail letter from someone that says, if you don't want your true identity to be... this was sent to Ron Delight, our defendant. Says, if you don't want your true identity to be revealed to the world, come to KB Security at 10 a.m. No, 1 a.m., sorry, on October 12th and bring 50 grand. If you don't, I'll take that red diamond you received the other day instead. We've got Ron's wallet, which Larry Butts returned to Ron's home. It was found at KB Security at 1 a.m. And then we've got the key card, which is also found in Ron's wallet, which opens the KBE Security CEO office, and it leaves a record when used. And that's what we've got going on. So, what is it? Is something wrong? Nah, but did you see all the people here? It's crazy. Oh, so check out the mask glossy I bought. You bought this where? From the little tents in front of the courthouse. They have all sorts of things for sale. You know, I'm kind of a sucker for this kind of stuff. Wait, hold on. What is this then? So I'm just gonna take details of this because this is a publicity photo. Right. Who's screaming like that? Oh, Mr. Wright, you made it. Yeah, I did, but it doesn't look like things are going to get any less ugly for me. Because I did it! I'm the criminal! Me! Ugh. He's at it again. I sent the calling card to Lordly Taylor, I admit it! But you don't have the sacred urn, right? Well, that's true, but it doesn't mean that I didn't commit the crime. Normally when I say, of course you didn't, I'm being sarcastic, but you... Ugh. Anyway, I admit that I'm guilty, so make sure to give me a guilty verdict, please. Oh, there you are, Ronnie. Bonjour, sweetie. Oh, Desi, honey. Well, actually, I don't really know why I should be speaking French to you at a time like this. Leave it all to me, Ronnie. I'll swear I'll protect you. Well, you see, actually, the thief is me. Can I tell you something, Nicky boy? I can guarantee that my Ronnie is innocent. If he's declared guilty, I'll be ever so cross with you. So why are you smiling when you say it? Well, if you excuse me, I've got some errands I need to take care of. I'm counting on you, Nicky boy. Good luck. To be honest, I don't really know whether Ron is masked a mask or not, but there is only one thing I am sure of. He doesn't have the sacred urn right now. It's time for you to enter the courtroom. So this is Godot, the new prosecutor of the trilogy. What a stupid question. What a stupid question. What did you say? Fine, let me ask you then, Your Honor. Are you ready? You ready? Are you ready to pass judgment? No, I'm not. I will pass judgment after I hear arguments from both sides. Well, if you're not ready yourself, you shouldn't expect others to be. That's a rule to live by. Who are you? I am Godot. Simply Godot, legendary prosecutor. I've never lost a case. Yeah, this is his theme. He's the one that Detective Atme was talking about. Yes, your reputation precedes you. What kind of cases have you dealt with so far? None. What did you say? You can't lose a case if you've never prosecuted a case at all. That's absolutely hilarious. Apparently Edgeworth vouches for this guy being the best prosecutor ever, but he's never prosecuted a case before. But you said you've never lost before. Exactly, I've never lost before. I've never won before either. Quite arrogant for a beginner, aren't you? Even the mightiest of redwoods begin their lives as mere saplings. Yes, but a mask in the court of law? Yeah, what is it about the mask? Why does he have like a grill on his head? No matter the man, we all wear masks, either on our faces or over our hearts. This guy is the real deal, alright, Nick. Why does it seem like all prosecutors are the real deal? So, we finally meet Mr. Phoenix Wright. Nick, is he a friend of yours? No, I don't have any friends that call me Trite. Just who is this masked man? I've returned from the depths of hell to do battle with you. Well then, Prosecutor Gobo. It's not Gobo, it's Godot, Your Honor. In any case, please give your opening statement. Opening statement. Those things are not fit for even dogs to consume. I have only one thing to say before we start. To you, Mr. Wright. Are you familiar with the saying, a chain is only as strong as its weakest link? I wonder. How much can you withstand before you and your case break in two? Well then, let's hear from the first witness. You know, my name is... No one has asked for your name, witness. The important thing is what you know, that's all. Start talking, we're listening. Yes, sir, all right. Let's first hear about what you know about the thief that stole the urn. I already hate this prosecutor. We always hate the prosecutor whenever they introduce. I'm curious because he has a rather interesting design. I low-key miss Von Karma, not gonna Franziska Von Karma, not gonna lie, but it is what it is. Let's see his crimes. Master Mas is a master thief that first started his crime spree 6 months ago. This is a really good tune. Good tune. He's so confident that he sends his calling card before he commits the crime. This was his fifth heist as usual. He sent a card to Lordy Taylor. His pattern is to always go after the most precious art pieces. That's why we're sure it was Master Mask, sir. It fits his MO to a T. So here's a problem with that already. If his MO is to only steal the most valuable art pieces, but he stole the urn, it has no monetary value. So what's going on? So then the actual identity of the Master Mask is Mr. Godot. What are you? Who's sliding him coffee? So I know about the coffee prosecutor, but that's really all I know. We're in the middle of a trial here, blacker than a moonless night, hotter and more bitter than hell itself. That is coffee. I'm sure you can grant me at least this much, Your Honor. Oh, please, proceed. Very well, it's only coffee after all. What? You can't be letting him slide this early in the trial. Proceed with your cross, Mr. Wright. Well, Nick, what are you going to do? As long as they haven't brought up Mr. Delight's identity, all we can do is show that it wasn't Master Mask who stole the urn. True. Okay. So what I was saying earlier, his pattern is to always go after the most precious art pieces. Immediately, I don't believe you. Because that's priceless or valueless. Can I ask you a little something, Detective Gumshoe? Just hearing the little in that question is making me nervous. You said that he always goes after the most precious art pieces, right? That's right, pal. But there's one problem. That's not what he did in this case. The supposedly priceless urn doesn't exactly rise to the level of precious art. What do you mean? Nick, how could you say such a terrible thing? No, I meant from a financial point of view. I mean, it wouldn't fetch a good price. Well, Professor Godot, what is the value of that urn? The appraisers I spoke to said they couldn't attach a price to it. And I mean that in the worst sense. So in other words, it was not the kind of item that Mask to Mask would normally go after. If I understand you correctly, Mr. Wright, you're saying that the theft of the sacred urn was not the work of Mask to Mask. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Actually, all I did was point out the contradiction. The argument made itself, but... Well, first of all, we need to get this issue cleared up. Was this last robbery the work of Mask to Mask or not? What do you have to say about this, Mr. Godot? This coffee here, it's my own special blend. I call it Godot 107. I'm trying to decide whether to cut down on the acidity or the bitterness. That's the only thing I've got in my mind right now, Mr. Trite. If you were really a man, you should really clean up your own mess. I'm sorry. I think coffee is his whole thing. I don't think he's ever going to stop talking about his damn coffee anytime soon. If you're saying it wasn't Master Mask that stole the urn, then it must be someone imitating Master Mask's methods. A fake. A fake Damask? A fake Damask? That sounds so ridiculous, but I like it. Now, before I decide on my coffee, I believe some proof is in order, Mr. Trite. Prove that the person who appeared at Lordly Taylor that night was actually a fake. A limitless supply. At some point, that coffee is just gonna go straight through him. Though I don't approve of Mr. Godot's behavior, his point is valid. Mr. Wright, we're waiting. Looks like I'm going to have to prove it. I need proof that the person at Lordly Taylor that night was in fact a fake Damask. I think I've seen it. He's not wearing the medallion, big medallion thing on his chest. Where's my little pointer? He's not wearing that in the other photo. In the security photo, it's missing. So I'm gonna present this. Take that! I had a feeling because like they gave it to. Thank you. I had a feeling because they gave it to me right before the case. Shite. Where's my pointer? Oh, no, I don't need the pointer. All right, yeah. So they gave it to me right before the case, which is why I studied it, because I was like, I feel like I'm going to have to like look at what he looks like, because I feel like there's something about his outfit that I need to like know about. This happened before. Proof is right here. This looks like a photo taken by a security camera. But if you look closely, there's something peculiar about it. It's missing his little medallion brooch thingy. Right here. Take that! It's right here, of course. You mean Master Mask? I have here a piece of a reference that I would like the court to take a look at. Isn't that the publicity photo I bought this morning? The problem I have with the security photo is the brooch on his chest. A breach? Here. Bailiff, get my steed. We need to retreat. What's wrong with you, Judge? A brooch, Your Honor. It's a sort of clasp. I always thought brooch was spelled with two O's. Even though, whichever. It's a sort of clasp for holding one's cape on. A clasp, eh? I see now. But the Master Mask in the security camera photo has no brooch. The brooch is the same as the emblem on the mask's calling card and serves as a symbol. But the thief that broke into Lordly Taylor wasn't wearing a brooch. In other words, he's a fake. This is D minor as well. So undeniably true. Detective Gumshoe, how could you have overlooked this? I'm sorry, sir. I don't know how I... Someone's pressing the hydrate button for him. Hey now, if you're gonna have a pity party, invite me too. Mr. Godot, you deserve some blame in this too. How could you have overlooked such a large brooch? Ah, the brooch you're talking about. You mean this? Yes, the same thing. That's his brooch. Where did you find it? Well, I've always had a good nose for evidence. I got it at the crime scene. It was hidden in the shadow of the big female Buddha statue. Buddha statue? You must mean the Amy face statue. Why didn't you tell me about that, sir? I always put my evidence away in my pocket. After all, it's the safest place for crucial evidence. Oh, you're a dickhead. It's a little early to be shaken up, isn't it, little lady? That friend of yours left a pretty little hickeys on there, too. Hickeys? Figuratively speaking, of course. I'm referring to Rondelight's fingerprints. What? The defendant's fingerprints were on the brooch. Order in the court. Mr. Godot, let's see that brooch. I've grown attached to my metallic girlfriend here. Take good care of her. It appears to have been torn off some clothing. There's a little bit of cloth left on the back. Obviously, there must have been a big struggle that night at the crime scene. Uh-oh, Phoenix, we have a problem. You mess with Godot? You get burned? Yeah, you get burned. He's played me like a damn fiddle! Well, Judge, I'm about ready to call my next witness. You done with me? But I haven't proved anything yet. You've proven your own incompetence. That's good enough. That doesn't sound good at all. All right, bring the next witness. Finally, time for the ace detective to make his appearance, huh? One second is one drip of the coffee pot. Let's hurry up. Shh, silence! Now I see. It's all becoming clear. And now you'll say, Zvadi. The truth has once again been elegantly revealed to me. What we have here is a judge and a prosecutor. A coffee maniac at that. Am I correct? Well, yes, that's right. Not bad. Not bad at all. You're the first person that's ever been able to penetrate my secret veil. Well, Sir Prosecutor, let me introduce myself. My name is Luke Acme. Ace detective and rising star illuminating the heavens. Boy, these two make a perfect pair. They'd either be best friends or they'd tear each other's heads off. I heard that on the night of the crime, you were all alone on security detail. You have heard correctly. My specially made monocle is worth more than 100 Detective Gumshoes. If Detective Gumshoe was worth anything, that is. I mean, if he wasn't worth anything, then 0 times 100 is 0. Why was this guy all by himself anyway? There must be some reason, I'm sure of it. Well then, tell us what this special monocle of yours witnessed. It was approximately 1 o'clock in the morning, just after the date changed. That's when my nemesis, the infamous Mask de Mask, dancingly descended upon me. Just as I began to turn, the coward struck a fierce blow upon my noble head. Darkness swallowed me before I could land a single strike. When I awoke, he was gone. 30 minutes later, I used an emergency phone to notify the police. So you didn't get a clear look at the criminal. My specially made monocle never misses a thing. However, that is limited to things that fall within my own visual range. But of course, that's only natural. I fail to see why the witness seems so proud of his performance that evening. Well, so, old-timer, let me explain. but of the King of Thieves, the Great Master Mask is my arch enemy. That is what my instincts and my years of experience tell me. Hold on a second. Yeah? Okay. Something was off about what he said, but I'm gonna press it to see if I'm correct. He said, so the prosecution purports that there was a struggle, right? Because that's where the brooch got torn off. But if, let's say he was wearing it to begin with, if you didn't land a single strike, then who tore off the brooch? Let me press this though. Attacked and knocked unconscious and you weren't able to do a thing? That's certainly some very impressive detective work. Well, sir lawyer, have you ever been suddenly struck on the head? Huh? Well, actually, yes, by a fire extinguisher. That is true. First case of the second game. And what happened? He straight up lost his memory. And you lost your memory too. You see, you have no right to look down on me then, do you? The only reason I didn't lose my memory is because I have more brains to begin with. He may have brains, but the wiring to the self-reflection part seems to be severed. In any case, that was how I was knocked senseless. And then... let me say it real quick. This brooch literally not proves, but implies the existence of a struggle rather than a complete like one-sided victory. Mr. Atme, could you take a look at this with that special monocle of yours? Aha! This belongs to my criminal mastermind, my arch nemesis, Mask the Mask. It is in point of fact, Mask the Mask's brooch. It was found on the floor of the basement warehouse. I wonder how that happened. Elementary, my dear lawyer. Obviously, it wasn't glued on well enough. Not quite. It clearly shows signs of having been ripped off a piece of clothing. Why was the judge like, ripped off? You were the one who made that suggestion. We can only deduce that the thief struggled with someone that night. That's the only thing I can think of. And that there's only one person that was in a position to have a struggle with a thief. And that was the only person on security that night. You, Detective Atme. Bum, 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 bum. Wow, I'd like to learn that song for real one day. Detective Atme, you must have fought with that thief that night. So why did you lie in your testimony to the court? Witness giving false testimony is a serious crime. No, wait just a moment, sir old-timer. Don't talk to me like I'm living in a nursing home. I just remembered, Your Honor. I was just confused because I've been dealing with so many cases lately. The measure of a man is in the amount of work he does. That's what I always say. Nick, you can only handle one case at a time, isn't that right? You talk too much. Witness, so are you now saying that you and the thief fought? Hold on. That's quite enough, Your Honor. Excuse me? Save the big questions for the testimony. That's one of my rules. Indeed. I understand. I, Luke Atme, completely agree. Cool. Indeed, it's true that I looked away from the door for a brief moment. However, Luke Atme cannot be so easily discombobulated. Unfortunately, the thief grabbed a weapon from the side and rendered me senseless. A true gentleman only fights with his fists. But they were not enough. His first blow struck true. Bam! And that's all she wrote. Correct. It was during his third crime that he struck me from behind. It seems that my memory has become a tad jumbled, so to speak. Well, that's certainly understandable. I myself always get confused by which testimony goes with which case. That can't be good. Right. So this version is C minor, I think. So you looked away for a brief moment, however, I cannot be so easily discombobulated. Fortunately, the thief guys a weapon from the side and randomly useless. A true gentleman fights only with his fists. They were not enough. His first blow struck true. You had that much faith in your own fighting abilities, but of course, in college I was the second in charge of the boxing club. I'm sorry if I failed to find that appropriately impressive. However, my opponent in the ring this time was my arch nemesis, Mask the Mask. This guy is a real piece of work. His first blow struck true, not so she wrote. Can you tell us a little more about what happened? My opponent was both powerful and vicious. You might say he was powericious? I assumed the at me fighting stance, but a sudden flash of light blinded me. That, of course, was checkmate. My opponent had bested me. What is your fighting style? That's what I want to know. I'm sorry, but that's a trade secret. I really can't say anymore. But I suppose I can tell you if I absolutely must. The main thing is to put your back to the wall. That way no one can get behind you. That's it. That's the at-me fighting style. I'm going to say it's important. Of course it's important. We've learned a secret technique from a detective after all. I don't know why I pressed it though. Did you say you got hit in the back of the head? Wait, hold on. Back of the head. You can't be... yeah. Okay, I'm really just going along for the ride, but... Back of the head, but if you're... yeah, no, that can't be true. Detective Acme, your testimony is crumbling like a house of cards. What fun is this? What fun this is, Sir Lawyer. It is truly a pleasure to cross swords with you. And now, once again, you have thrown down the gauntlet at my armored feet. I believe this is what you said yesterday. No, the coward must have wormed his way through somewhere besides the door. Then my arch nemesis struck me on the head from behind with this gruesome item here. From behind her, but just now you testified that he struck you on the forehead. I hardly think you could forget where you were hit on the head. Seems I've made another mistake. Detective Acme, that's not the only strange part of your testimony. What do you mean by that? For example, the very fact that you hid the calling card from the police itself is strange. It's almost as if you were afraid they were going to help with security. Geniuses such as myself have always been misunderstood. How sad. That's wrong. Ooh. Godo. To err is human, to forgive divine. Humans aren't machines, they have souls, feelings. They live, they die, they love, they hate. And yes, they even make mistakes. Hey, hold on. It's not as pretty as that. What are you drinking? Black coffee? Ugh. Really? What is it like then? Always chase a riddle down to the end. That's one of my rules. This is it. This might just be my chance to turn things around. What am I asserting? I assert that this is literally... Okay, so this is what I said literally the first... Like, the second I saw his design, I was like, you're Master Mask, straight up. The only evidence I have is his design, his character design. Like, you know them things where, like, a character is spoiled by his character design? So simple, it's clear to me now. Detective Luke Atmey's true identity is actually Mask the Mask. Oh, he did not like that at all. He hated it. Order in the court. Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this? There are too many unnatural parts to Mr. Atmey's story. He says he was hiding at the current crime scene, which is why no one ever saw him there. And then, in his last case, he manages to outperform Detective Gumshoe and the entire police force to miraculously retrieve the stolen treasure. That's because I analyzed the crime scene data and made an exquisitely elegant deduction. I picked up clues that the police overlooked in order to arrive at a... Oh, please. The explanation is far simpler than that, Detective Atmey. The truth is that you are, in fact, Mask the Mask. But Mr. Wright, this photo, it clearly shows Mask the Mask. The security camera belongs to Lordly Taylor Department Store. He shouldn't have been able to manipulate it. He didn't need to manipulate it. He gained access to the warehouse under the pretense of providing security. Then he simply dressed up as the thief and stole the urn. So, the ace detective is actually an ace thief. Is this true, witness? Oh, what the fuck? The Mask's MO is pure genius, and so am I, Luke Atmey, ace detective. You're very clever to have come to such a conclusion. I am impressed, sir lawyer. You're admitting it? Nick, now's your chance. Yes, time to put the last nail in this guy's coffin. Detective Atmey, when you assume the thief's identity. What was that? Man said, Ogi, go Dota Brendo, Yaku, Ni. Like, what the fuck? I don't understand. It's my personal favorite. Look at him.